A road that leads to nowhere, a town with no history, a forest where the trees seem to whisper your name. For decades, people have stepped into this place and never stepped out. Their cars are found abandoned, headlights still on, doors wide open. Their homes remain untouched, dinner plates still set on the table, clocks frozen at the exact moment they vanished. But the people, gone. No struggle, no signs of escape, just gone. Search teams find no footprints leading away, no scent for dogs to track. Phones ring endlessly before cutting to silence. Families wait for answers that never come. And when authorities investigate, they too speak of an overwhelming presence, a feeling, a pressure, as if the air itself is watching. The official reports dismiss the disappearances as accidents, coincidences, unexplained cases that never make the headlines. But those who know this place, those who have stood on the edge of its borders and felt the weight of its silence, they understand one thing. Once you cross a certain point, you don't come back. People keep disappearing here, and no one knows why. This isn't just another ghost story. This is real. The disappearances span decades, leaving behind more questions than answers. There are no patterns, no single age group, no specific time of year. It happens to hikers, drivers, entire families, and once they're gone, they are never seen again. The place? Officially, it's just another stretch of land, a town that never grows, a road that leads to a dead end, a patch of forest untouched by time. But those who've been near it, those who have felt the cold grip of unease crawling up their spine, know better. Some claim there's a reason no one talks about it, that the missing were never meant to be found. Tonight, we uncover the stories, the evidence, the theories, and the terrifying possibility that whatever is out there is still waiting. To understand why people keep vanishing, we need to look at the history. But here's the problem. There isn't much to find, no major events, no records of settlements, no reason for this place to exist. Yet it does. Maps from different decades show roads that were never built, a town that appears, then disappears in later versions. Even local records seem incomplete, files missing, names erased, police reports that end without conclusions. And then there are the disappearances, the first recorded case. A group of loggers in the 1930s, last seen entering the woods. Their campsite was found intact, food still on the fire, tools arranged neatly. But the men? Gone. Over the years, more followed. A family traveling cross-country, their RV abandoned with the engine still running. A lone hiker whose final text read, "I think I'm being followed," before her phone shut off. Never recovered. A police officer investigating a missing person, who became one himself. The most disturbing part? No bodies, no struggle, no evidence of where they went. Some believe it's the land itself, that certain places, no matter how ordinary they seem, have rules of their own. Rules that, once broken, can never be undone. One case stands out, a disappearance so unsettling, so unexplainable, that even seasoned investigators refuse to return. It happened on a quiet evening. A man named Daniel Carter, an experienced outdoorsman, set out for a weekend trip. He wasn't new to the area. He had hiked these trails before. This was routine, normal. But this time, something was different. His last known contact, a voicemail to his brother. His voice was calm, but there was something off. That was the last anyone heard from him. When he failed to return, a search team was sent out. His car was found parked at the trailhead. His gear was still in the trunk, untouched, but there was no sign of him. They combed the area. Hours turned into days. Then something strange happened. On the third night of searching, his backpack was discovered, 12 miles from where his car was parked. Inside, his phone, his wallet, his keys. But the battery was dead and the call logs were wiped. The most chilling part? The backpack was dry, clean, as if it had just been placed there. No footprints, no struggle, just an object left behind as if someone or something wanted it to be found. Despite weeks of searching, Daniel Carter was never seen again. But he wasn't the last. Daniel Carter was not the first to vanish, and he wouldn't be the last. After his case, more reports surfaced, stories buried in old police files, whispers passed between locals. Some dismissed them as coincidences. Others were not so sure. Theories began to form. Some believe there's something about this place, something we can't understand. A geographical anomaly, a magnetic disturbance, a shift in reality itself. Scientists have noted unusual electromagnetic readings here, compasses spinning wildly, GPS signals cutting out without explanation. Others claim a more disturbing possibility, that there's something watching, something waiting. Multiple reports describe the same eerie details, a sudden silence in the woods, the feeling of being followed even when no one is there, shadows that move against the wind, and those who get too close. Some return, but they are never the same. One man, a former park ranger, refused to speak for years about what he saw. When he finally did, his voice shook. And then there's the pattern, if you can call it that. Missing persons always vanish near the same coordinates, the same stretch of road, the same trailhead. Is it a place no one is meant to be? Or is there something or someone making sure they don't leave? No bodies, no clues, no explanations, just the same unanswered question. Where do they go? Some say the missing simply walked away, choosing to disappear. But their families disagree. These weren't people running from something. They were running towards something they would never return from. Then there are those who almost disappeared, people who stepped too far and came back different. In 2008, a man was found wandering miles from where he had disappeared. His clothes were intact, no signs of injury. But when asked where he had been, he said nothing. He never spoke again. In 2015, a woman vanished for 6 days. When rescuers found her, she was barefoot, her feet unmarked. No signs of exposure, no memory of what happened. Just one sentence whispered over and over, "Don't follow them." But the most unsettling part? The disappearances haven't stopped. People still go missing here, and despite the warnings, others still go looking. And sometimes, just sometimes, they come back with stories they can't explain, stories that don't belong in this world. What do you think? Is this place cursed? A doorway to something beyond our understanding? Or is there a more logical explanation we're all missing? Tell us your theory in the comments below. And if you've ever experienced something unexplainable, we want to hear your story. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's next. Because this is just one mystery, and there are so many more waiting to be uncovered.